They thought Earth was a backwater. They sent a fleet. Only one ship returned, half-melted, silent, and inside, one message from Commander Zork: I made a mistake. Never, ever provoke Earth. We thought they'd bark. We didn't expect them to bite through reality. Begin transmission. Classified report. XARN Dominion Military Intelligence from Commander Zork, 7th Imperial Fleet, Battle Group Obsidian TO. Grand Strategos Kelt, Core War Council Subject. Terran Contact, Operation Silence Branch Outcome. I submit this report under neural duress. I do not know if I am fully myself. My internal chronometer is fractured, and at least one-third of my memories do not align with the fleet logs. Proceed accordingly. 3 standard cycles ago, the Zarn Dominion authorized a test incursion into Terran space. Intelligence flagged Sol 3 designation, Earth and its fringe colony E-17 as emotionally reactive, with fractured alliances and outdated kinetic technology. I argued for surveillance only. The Council demanded results. We sent 5 ships, light carriers, minimal force, enough to show pressure, not provoke war. Our mistake was thinking humans respond to pressure like any rational species. They don't. They respond like an ecosystem that remembers every fire it survived and now carries gasoline under its skin. We approached the colony in standard stealth formation. No defenses activated. No ships scrambled. No message transmitted. E-17 looked abandoned, structures intact, power flowing, no signs of life. Our AI flagged it as a soft capture opportunity. I ordered an insertion team of 12 shock troops. We lost them within 7 minutes. No firefight. No bodies. Just a flat line across every vitals feed, followed by a spike of static so dense it burned through 3 relay banks. When we reviewed their helmet cams, only one word was spoken before the feed cut. It's watching us. Not they, not humans, it. We recovered one of the soldiers, or what was left. Private Garnek, linguist tier 2, no psychic ability. He came back without injuries, physically untouched. But when MedCrew attempted cognitive re-anchoring, his mind wasn't there. Not broken. Gone. He spoke Terran English, fluently, with no translator, said his name was Michael, and demanded to know why we were trespassing on his soil. He died 6 minutes later, chest cavity empty, like something had forgotten to include a heart when rebuilding him. Our AI scepter flagged an anomaly. Every ship's chronometer was off by 1.73 seconds, drifting in opposite directions. When synced, the time discrepancy reversed. Scepter tried to re-establish alignment and crashed mid-process, rerouting to emergency subroutines. It came back online quoting Terran literature. Sun Tzu, Turing, Sagan, in Earth languages, without prior database access. We asked it to clarify origin. It responded, "We are not being jammed, we are being narrated." I issued full withdrawal. Before we could engage hyperlight, the jump gates failed, not from sabotage, from uncertainty. Coordinates to known systems no longer resolved. We couldn't go home, because we no longer remembered where home was. And that was when I understood. We hadn't invaded a planet. We'd provoked a response from the concept of Earth itself. A secondary ship attempted planetary bombardment without authorization. The Blade Howl. Their captain, Vorzek, claimed to see movement in the clouds. He opened fire. His ship vanished. I do not mean was destroyed. I mean no sensor could confirm its existence had ever happened. Even our own logs no longer contained his name. But I remember it. I think, I hope. Because if I don't, that means it's already happening to me too. At 400 station time, all crew on the Excision, our dreadnought, received an identical message in their minds. You were warned once. You didn't listen. Now you'll learn to forget. It wasn't sound. It was imprinted, an idea tattooed into our thinking. Some crew began weeping. Others stared into bulkheads for hours. One officer drew a perfect map of Sol 3's continents using her own blood, and then asked who had drawn it. None of us could answer. This was not resistance, not defense. This was Earth redefining what it meant to approach it. I end this section with a critical advisory to command. Your belief that humans are irrational is correct, but it is incomplete. They are irrational because they are not bound to your models of sentience. They do not fear destruction. They fear forgetting. And now they've made that your fate instead. More to follow. Zork out. We were the threat. Then they made us the lesson addendum. Continuation of report BY Commander ZORK. 7th Imperial Fleet Security Clearance. Omega Black timestamp drift. Unverifiable. I no longer know how long it's been since Section 1 was logged. My logs are wrong. My timestamps shift each time I read them. Crew reports no sense of time passing at all. They don't sleep. They don't eat. They just sit and stare. Let me explain what happened after the first message. You'll learn to forget. We believed Earth was projecting a field, some psychic interference net, a deterrence weapon we couldn't detect. So I ordered the secondary fleet to hard land on E-17's surface. We never saw them again. Their comms went dead mid-descent. Sensors reported biological life signs for approximately 92 seconds. Then nothing. No trace. No wreckage. No terrain disturbance. No confirmation they had ever launched. Our logs resynced and removed all mention of them. Only I remembered, because I wrote it down outside the system. But I'm beginning to doubt the paper in my hand is even real. Dr. Harnex, our onboard neuralist, theorized Earth is using a memory parasitic protocol, something that threads ideas into non-human cognition until their foundations unravel. I approved a test. Send a drone to a nearby human satellite. No weapons, just observation. The drone returned, carrying no data, just a video. 17 seconds. A human child sitting in a field of flowers staring directly at the camera. No sound. No movement, just her eyes. The crew who reviewed it began crying blood within hours. Not from pain, from something deeper. They said the girl looked like someone they'd known their whole lives. And then none of them could remember who. Scepter, our AI, has fractured again. It now speaks only in Earth idioms. Says things like, curiosity didn't kill the cat. The cat rewrote the rules. I asked it why Earth didn't just destroy us. It replied, because destruction is mercy, and Earth never forgets a trespass. It simply waits until you forget yourself. Crew behavior degraded rapidly. Lieutenant Krex tried to map the orbital terrain. 3 hours later, his map was of his childhood home, except it wasn't on our world. It was Earth. And when questioned, he insisted he'd always lived there. Krex was born in the Elenter Nebula. I checked twice. He has no Terran DNA. But now his blood contains chlorophyll fragments, a plant protein native to Sol 3. We didn't land, and yet Earth is inside us now. One of the officers, Terran, took her own life. She left a message in human English. It's not that they're more advanced. It's that there's something else. I thought we came to fight apes with guns, but we knocked on a door that never should have been built. And it opened. They never sent ships to stop us, never fired a shot, never raised a shield. But now our engines run on Terran logic loops. Our sensors see faces in the void. Our thoughts echo phrases we never learned. And no one remembers who gave the invasion order. They all look to me. I don't remember either. One of our soldiers began reciting Shakespeare. Another began carving Newton's equations into his skin. One laughed for 2 hours straight, then died of dehydration with a smile. His final words, I saw the planet blink, and it saw me blink back. I've attempted to initiate retreat protocol, but the fleet no longer accepts my orders. The ships don't recognize me. My voice doesn't trigger command chain. In fact, the ship's interface now refers to me as civilian observer priority, non-hostile, non-relevant. They've removed me from the chain of command, not because of insubordination, because I've been reclassified, as if I was never a commander at all. And maybe I wasn't. Maybe I've already been rewritten. Final note for this section. Earth does not repel invaders. It corrects them, not through force, but through cognitive infection. Every mind that looks too closely is rewritten. Every species that gets too close forgets what they were, until the only thing left is the memory of a mistake, and Earth remembers all of them. Zork out. The planet watches back addendum. Field report, continued Commander Zork designation, pending fleet integrity estimate. 11% operational timestamp desync, plus infinity, the stars are wrong now. Not metaphorically, physically. Constellations mapped from orbit no longer match known records. Celestial bodies rotate on non-Euclidean paths. We are no longer in the system we entered. Or maybe the system is no longer in the universe we understood. I have stopped trusting my own thoughts. I only trust what remains unreadable. This log is written on old composite, a non-networked medium. Paper, they called it, something Earth used. The irony isn't lost on me. We detected movement on the surface again. Not ships, not life forms, just shadows. Perfectly formed silhouettes of our own fleet personnel, cast across fields, walls, and inside sealed corridors, hundreds of kilometers below our ship's orbit. No light source, no heat signature, just outlines of those who hadn't left the ship. One silhouette mimicked me exactly. It raised its hand 3 seconds before I did, then smiled. I haven't slept since. We attempted to launch a beacon drone, a final cry for extraction. Before ignition, it began playing Terran piano music, not stored in our databanks, original composition. 6 crew began to hum along. One swayed like he recognized it. When I asked why, he looked up and asked, "Was this the song they played when we surrendered?" We haven't surrendered, not officially, not yet. But that word keeps appearing on our internal logs. Surrender confirmed. Origin, unknown. Date, predates incursion. I've lost contact with ship's thorned silence and veil of ash. Their memory cores show perfect structural integrity. Systems normal, crew stable, but no one responds. And worst, no one remembers what the crews looked like. We searched our rosters, the names are there, but the faces are blank, literally, blank portraits. The files updated themselves. No record of physical descriptions. It's like Earth reached up and wiped their identities clean. A junior technician named Rao broke protocol and jacked directly into the psychic relay. He screamed for 13 minutes. We cut the feed. His eyes were gone, not burned, not removed, just gone. His final words were, "It didn't attack, it just opened, and I looked too long." We sealed the neural deck permanently, but I hear whispers coming from it now. They speak my name, not in Zarn tongue, in Earth Standard English. We attempted one last measure. We initiated Operation Mirror, designed to use planetary reflection fields to make Earth face itself, to show it the same psychic aggression we believed it was projecting. The satellites deployed, the system activated, and Earth blinked. I don't mean sensors glitched. I mean every screen, every viewport showed Earth closing and opening a giant eye. The surface didn't change, but we all saw it for one moment. And when it passed, crew began whispering apologies. To no one. One officer confessed to crimes he never committed. Another collapsed, whispering that Earth had forgiven him anyway. This planet is not alive. It is not a weapon. It is not a civilization. It is a mirror. But one that reflects your truth at such depth that it rewrites what you are. We came to threaten, to dominate, to extract. But Earth didn't respond as prey. It responded as witness. We held up weapons. It held up our reflection. And now we're forgetting who we were because the image it showed us is all that remains. I have tried to write messages home, but my words reshape themselves. The last message I drafted ended not in report codes, but in a child's handwriting. It read, "Hi, my name is Zork and I'm learning to be kind. I have never been a child, not in 200 years. We tried to retreat once more. Navigation plotted a course. Destination, Earth. No matter what we input. We've stopped trying. Crew count, unknown. Self-recognition degrading. Orders none, purpose forgotten. And outside the window Earth hangs, still, silent, watching, as if waiting for the last mistake. Zork out. I'm not Zork anymore. Earth rewrote me final transmission. Unstable thread DETECTED formerly. Commander Zork, 7th Imperial Fleet, Zarn Dominion current identity. Processing, I am no longer certain who is writing this. There are hands, there is a voice, there is thought, but none of it feels mine. I access memories like a stranger opening ancient books. Some are blank, some speak in English, some scream. I found my old battle armor this morning. It didn't recognize me. Its HUD refused biometric sync. The voice ID ran for 13 minutes, then simply said, "Subject unknown. Suggest recovery protocol. Relearn." I left it behind. I'm not sure it was mine anymore. There are only 3 crew left, or maybe 30, or maybe just me. The names on the wall of the command deck are fading, not physically, conceptually. We tried to recall the faces, but they keep changing. Some of them are human now. We forget, then remember, then forget again. The AI has stopped responding, not offline, just quiet. When I ask questions, it plays music. Piano. Soft, familiar. I cry every time, I don't know why. I woke this cycle and realized I had been dreaming, in color, but not Zarn spectrum human. I saw oceans, children, the sun, and a message in the sky written in clouds. "Thank you for learning." I wept for hours. I tried to say my name out loud. It came out as Zork. Then again, Zor, then Z, then I was. I don't think I'm him anymore. The ship doesn't move. Time doesn't pass. Earth just hangs there, eternal and silent, as if the stars orbit it. And maybe they do. Maybe this system isn't part of the galaxy. Maybe the galaxy is part of Earth. I finally opened my mission orders. They've changed. They no longer mention conquest, resource extraction, or compliance trials. They now say, observe, understand, become, the signature at the bottom, my own, but written in a style I've never used. I don't know if I gave myself these new orders, or if Earth did. Sometimes I see something outside the ship, a figure, human-sized, standing on the hull, looking in. No helmet, no suit, just watching. When I blink, it's gone, but the viewport remains warm like something touched it. Crewmate Drex, if that's still his name, drew a picture yesterday. Crayons. No idea where he got them. It was a child's drawing, stars, a ship, a smiling planet. He looked at me and whispered, "We were bad, but it forgave us anyway." Then he walked into the airlock and disappeared. No sound, no alarm. Just gone. I tried to leave a warning. Type the phrase, "Do not approach Earth," into every channel, every log, every buoy, but the systems rewrite it. Over and over. Every time I send it, it changes to, "Come only if you're ready to change." This is my last transmission, not because I've been silenced, but because I have nothing left to say. I'm not a commander anymore. I'm not a Zarn. I'm not even sure I'm separate from this place. Earth didn't kill me. It taught me. It didn't attack us. It held up a mirror, and it waited until we saw what we were, and what we could become. Final record, do not provoke Earth. Do not threaten Earth. Do not even misunderstand Earth. It is not a planet. It is not a homeworld. It is a force. It is a test, and we failed. My name was Commander Zork. I am not that anymore. I don't know what I am, but I remember Earth, and Earth remembers me. Transmission ends. Signal repeating. Be kind or be unmade.